Cosmos Creative Television presents the following program. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. This program includes sensitive subject matter that is not appropriate for younger audiences.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to No Icing. I'm very happy and excited to have a show tonight. I've been waiting for this special guest. And Rory Penland, the man of 1,001 voices, couldn't be here tonight. However, I have a special guest that you guys all know and love already. He's going to be my co host while Rory's on vacation or hiatus, whatever you want to call it. I have my co-host Ralphie Navarro. Let me bring him up. Hey.
I came up all surprising like that, like popped out of a bag or a dumpster. My bad. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday, indeed. And can you tell us about our guest tonight?
Okay, it's my good bro. It's my brother over here. I know him at least 15 years. We're not counting, but started in the hip hop scene in downtown San Bernardino in the Inland Empire, where we stay out here. Different places now, but downtown San Bernardino is a spot called Ray's Deli. Anyways, met him at a hip hop show. We've been best buds, brothers, and everything ever since. And I'm happy to see him flourish and grow as a multi-instrumentalist. I don't know how to say it. Like a Prince. He could do like a lot of instruments and songwriter, and he does a lot of things. So I'm proud to bring him on the show and introduce him to the No Icing, the Cosmos Creative.
First time. He's a first timer. He's a noob. Okay, let's bring him up.
All right, let's do it.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how are you? Thanks for the invite. Good.
Welcome.
Glad to be here.
It's nice to have you. Lovely to have you. Ralphie said so many good things about you.
Appreciate that. So what's going on? You're putting Ralph to work that your co-host is on vacation?
Yeah, my co-host is on vacation, and Ralphie's been on my show. He's been my special guest a few times, and
right on.
He's co-hosted for me before. We have a lot of fun. It comes natural. It doesn't even feel like work, It's just he's natural.
Yeah, we met on TikTok. Sandy D, searches TikTok for cool talent, and giving me love for over maybe a year or two now. So I'm happy to be hanging out, and I'm not like Rory where I could speak 1,000 voices, but I hear 1,000 voices in my head. So kind of the same. It's kind of the same.
Yeah.
So let's.
We are live now, Jesse. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So shout out to all our fans for No Icing. We've been going 4 years strong on No Icing here. So
nice.
I'm very proud. I work really hard at my show and my guests, and I'm really always thankful to have Ralphie helping me. He's so talented himself, and then to know you, and I'm sure he has a million talented friends over there. You guys are
Right,
in the
right.
Inland Empire, so
Where are you?
we're San Diego.
Okay. I
Yeah,
have some
Southern
family in
Cali.
San Diego, friends and family in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right on.
We're talking about San Felipe, Mexicali coming up, Jalisco, all these good food and good festivals. But to cut right into the show, uh,
Okay.
you know your latest project. We know you're a businessman and artist and all these things. Straight out the bat, you know, and producer and helping people co-write and produce. You what projects you got in the works right now? To shout out to anybody who might be watching or listening. I know I see you like a lot of credits on different people's albums right now too.
Yeah. This one here that I'm holding, this is the physical copy of my last project. It's called Holy Window. It's all flute music, like native flute music with indigenous instruments and spoken word poetry with like local poets. Um, there's actually my good friend. His name is Elder Samuel. He actually lives in San Diego. He's one of the elders there in Chicano Park, right
Really?
there in San Diego. Yeah, and the songs that I did for him and he recorded on, it's gonna be in the Chicano Park Museum. It's not available yet. It's in the works. But it will be in the Chicano Park Museum in San Diego. And then also, I just completed. I just produced an album for my friend Myrna. She's a singer, songwriter. She sings like prayer songs, native songs, and she also plays guitar. And I produced her first EP for her. It's about 4 tracks. Yes, 4 tracks. And I'm playing on flute on one of them. And that's like the latest thing that I have out that just recently came out. I want to say last month. So this CD came out last year, beginning of last year, and the new project that I produced for my friend Myrna, it just came out last month, and then I have another project coming out this summer. It's gonna be all live. So the name of the album is Anomaly Productive Live, and it's just me performing with my group or group of musicians at different places, Riverside, East LA, here in San Bernardino, in the studio, Riverside, one in LA, another one in LA, Ontario. Ralph is featured on it as well. And that particular project is not necessarily anything new. It's just recordings of me playing live. So it's not necessarily new music. It's songs that I had already previously put out, but they're live. And that'll be this summer, by this summer. I have my fingers crossed. Hopefully by late July, early August, the album should be out. It's 11 songs total. And majority of them are with different musicians because I mean nowadays with everyone's hectic schedule, it's really hard to keep a solid group of people to perform every time, especially if it's a distance.
And
Um,
then and then like the culture we talk about it like culturally and different shows. There's not a lot of we're not chasing the bag for some of this stuff that's coming from the heart or it's that's not what they do and sometimes artists or musicians get it twisted. They might think it's just about that and or it's time too. I get it, but that's a big part of what I got to do for the last year or two is be a sidekick to um, the name Anomaly Productive. And me and Sandy D were talking before about she's like, is it a group? Is it his name? And so if you could explain like kind of what you represent on with the Anomaly Productive brand.
yeah, like a lot of the songs from the album, the live performances are at community events. I think there's only like one song on there that's like at a bar. Um, and people constantly ask me that, like, so what's the name of your band? And I'll say I'm just Anomaly Productive, and they'll say, oh, but I thought that was you, and I'll say it is me. So in a sense, it's kind of like a prince, because like how I mentioned before, it's really difficult to keep the same amount, like the same players every time. So for this particular album, like there'll be like a different drummer for every song. You know, Ralph is maybe on three of the songs playing bass, and the rest of them is another bass player. Same. Sometimes I'll have a guitar player. Sometimes I'll have a trumpet player instead. There's one where I'm just playing with my looper, and it's just me by myself performing live, like looping beats and playing guitar live and bass live, keyboard live.
Oh, and I gotta tell you, we have some people watching. I want to say hi to Jordan. He's also a musician. He teaches music.
Right on.
He's in India, and he
Oh,
also
cool.
plays the flute. And he noticed that he was interested. You're the first flutist I've ever had on my show,
Oh,
other
yeah.
than Jordan. He's the only other guy that I know that plays the flute.
Right on.
And so he's here watching all the way from India. And
Okay,
then
cool.
Ro
What's up, Jordan?
Evans, she's a rock star. She's
Okay.
here watching. She said that's what makes an album interesting. Um, different
Yes.
places, different people, just yeah.
Right.
And then our executive producer Renee Yaworski, want to give a shout out to. She was watching. She said hi. Um, thanks, Renee. We love you. And who else? And anyone, there might be people watching on YouTube or Twitch that
Nice.
come say hi if you want to put in the chat. Say hi. I'd love to hear from
Right
you.
on.
But yeah, it's
Hi,
so
hi,
cool.
everyone. Thanks
Like
for tuning in.
Ralphie is part of other talk shows, right?
No,
Can
not
you?
no, not currently. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm kind of like just regrouping. But going back to Row and that make the album interesting, some of the ones where you said, Jesse, where you said that you were showed up with the loopers because maybe the band wouldn't show up, people wouldn't show up, so the show has to go on. And yeah, it was really fun. Like, am I gonna play guitar? I'm gonna play bass. Am I gonna play a shaker or one gig?
I love that. We're
Shout out to
versatile.
Trevis. Shout out to Trevis and that yoga gig that we did where I was just playing some kind of bongo or and it's
Right.
just you show up and you just kind of that's what I loved about it. You just never know who's gonna show up, but we
Right.
just always put 1,000. Maybe we have to be more showy if it was just a bass and the flute or however. But it was a fun time. It was a time to grow and yeah,
Definitely.
we just stepped it up. It was good times.
Yeah, definitely. You got to work with what you got. We'll practice the set, right? It will be like five of us, but at the show, only three of us will show up. You know, sometimes that happens too.
Yeah, those are cool, and all those festivals and all the cool people and all the cool vibes of that. I want to thank you for that, for being able to introduce me to different culture, maybe something more to my roots that I wasn't familiar with. It's been a bunch of years of growth, and yeah, the all the cool people that we've met along the way, and then networking and
Right.
writing more songs. I definitely see your following going up on the IG. Um, and since we're bouncing around, did you want to play a little jammy? Did you want to play? Show them what you got. You have a guitar right there.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. No, I appreciate you saying that because
Wait, you just happen to have a guitar. It's like magic. It's just look, hey, there's a guitar. Maybe
yeah,
he'll
and
play us this.
even like you just coming through. I know some of the gigs were kind of last minute. And you were able to come and then like learn the songs within a day, probably less than that. So I appreciate that, being able to come through, and when other people didn't, and then
Yeah,
just being open to it.
yeah. It's just people. That's a message out there for the people. Just like, I'm unsure. I don't know how. Like, oh, just do it, please. Just do it. This is 2025. What time do we have left? Literally, like, just to experience and connect with the people, and we did some live ciphers. We're into the hip hop. I told him in the beginning that in the intro, like, I met you through the hip hop scene, maybe 2009, 8, or something like that. And there was a hip hop scene downtown San Bernardino, and they were going deep on that. And But the live ciphers, when we had a band for multiple shows and people rapping over it,
Right.
freestyling over it, the connection that's it's unreal.
Yeah, it was dope. I remember all those days. um, but
Let's hear you play. Let's
this particular song.
let him strut his stuff.
This one, the studio recording of this song was not on this album, but the previous album called Musical Journey. It's in Spanish. It's called Te Puede Matar, and it will also be on my new album, but the live version, of course, with the full on band and everything. And it goes like this. Hope you enjoy it. Que no sabes que te puede matar si tú quieres cantar. Que no sabes que te puede matar si tú cantas canciones, libertad. Te matan. Si cantas de paz, sacan. Si hablas de más, nunca me van a callar y por siempre voy a cantar libertad, libertad, cantar libertad, libertad, cantar libertad, libertad, gritar libertad, libertad, free también, que no sabes que te puede matar. Si tú quieres cantar, que no sabes que te puede matar. Si tú cantas canciones, libertad. Cada día échale ganas, que nunca sabes si vas a vivir mañana. Sigue el proceso de tu sana, palo santo, hierba buena con... hay que luchar, hay que pelear, aprovechar la oportunidad, hay que seguir y hay que vivir antes que no se tiene que morir. Que no sabes que te puede matar. Si tú quieres cantar, que no sabes que te puede matar. Si tú cantas canciones, libertad. Thank you. Bravo.
Hey.
Is that little horns you played back there?
Oh, that's that's the audience back there.
Okay.
Who's that back there? Is that Mother Mary?
Oh yeah, that's the Virgin Mary right there.
Oh wow.
Hey, give me some corn. I think that was a corn man back there. Give me some corn.
What you're hearing is they're cheering out there, the golfers. My backyard is the golf course. So they're out there making holes.
They love it.
Is that the term? Making holes.
Making holes.
But yeah, like I said, you play the keyboards, man. I know we did a lot of stuff, and you produced a lot of stuff on keys and guitar. You've been picking it up lately, the flute, those kind of things. And then let's talk about your business too, about how you've been getting that bag out there with the realty.
Yes. So aside from music, I'm also a real estate professional. The company that I work for is called Empire Real Estate Properties, because we are in the Inland Empire. Is mostly where we do majority of our business. just this year I started doing it full time, starting in April. So I quit my job, my regular, 9 to 5, to focus on my business full time, because I have been doing it now for I want to say maybe 4 years part time. But I discovered the hard way that it's not really a part time business. So I mean, I invested a lot of time and money into it. The education, the college, the licensing, the exam, the continued education, and then of course the marketing. You got to have business cards, flyers, um, open house signs, and all that. Uh,
Videos.
Video, social media. I feel like I really try to relate a lot of it from music, like you know, like being an entrepreneur, specifically like a realtor. It's kind of like being in a band. Like you got to promote yourself. You gotta
Wow. Yeah,
you
now
know,
today it's all the same.
yeah, like same concept in a sense. Like if you do one gig and then someone sees you, like, hey, I really like your gig. I want you to come and perform in my event. Like, oh, hey, you sold that house. I want to buy a house too, or I want to buy something
Wow.
similar to that.
Yeah.
Almost the same
It's the
principles.
blessings upon blessings. It's the blessings
Right.
upon blessings. People see you working hard in the music industry. They see you working hard in real estate, and yeah, who doesn't want to? It's hard to find people like that sometimes. Hard to
Yeah.
find people that still believe in hard work,
Yeah.
and
And
today everything's social media, so it's a lot of hard work on social media.
right, right. I think social media is just like one part of the puzzle. Because again, like as an example, when you're promoting your band, it's not just doing gigs. It's also like recording in the studio, putting in social media. You printing out physical flyers and stapling them to like telephone poles or whatever. Like similar. Door
Wow.
knocking, cold calling, social media, your centers of
Wow.
influence, everyone in your phone. Call everyone in your phone like, hey, I'm doing real estate full time now. Who do you know that wants to buy or sell? When do you plan on moving? Like things like that. So again, going back to like, it's kind of the same principles, same concepts, where you're kind of just constantly promoting yourself. So social media definitely is one of the pieces, but it's not everything. You still have to door knock, you still have to cold call, you still have to send
Wow.
emails and
Yeah.
follow up, open houses. Since I quit my job, now I work every weekend, doing open houses or showing property, going on listing appointments. So it's kind of like it almost forces you to get creative, just like music, like you want to get creative with it, and that's what makes it fun. For me, in my opinion, like the real estate business, there's room for creativity, and
Let
that's
me
kind of
ask
how.
you this. Let me ask you this question. Have you ever had an open house where you played music in the corner of the showing at the showing of the house, and like had
Not
like some have like
no
some snacks or whatnot, or
No,
you know
not yet. Not actually playing, no.
wow.
But I do have a setup with snacks and water and
Yeah, water, cookies. Sometimes you put out
um
cookies.
well, I put out chips because there's like a law, right? That it has to be sealed. I
Oh,
I
okay.
can't
Yeah.
I can't bake cookies and then take them, because I don't
Oh,
know
they
if
changed the law on that in
someone
California.
someone might have a uh what is it, a allergic reaction
Yeah.
to something that I don't even know about.
Oh gosh.
So it has to be something sealed. So I usually have like chips, and if I do put cookies, they're sealed individually, like that. And of course,
Wow.
bottles of water, just so people can they're free feel free to snack on them
And
while
you
they're doing
do you
for
do
the house.
mostly residential real estate or
Yeah, yeah, mostly residential. We do commercial property in our office, but me particularly, I haven't yet. But that's definitely something that I do want to get into. And again, having a real estate license, so you don't necessarily need a real estate license to be working in real estate. But if you have the license, you have more an advantage because you can be an appraiser, you can be a property manager, you could be a realtor. There's just so much diversity in the business, you know.
Well, yeah, but you have to
Commercial,
get the realtor license. They got to do the background check and everything. They
right?
don't just give anybody a real estate license.
Yeah, definitely. You gotta
You got to
definitely
take a
pass a
test.
background
You got to
check.
do a background
Yeah,
check. The whole
of
thing.
course.
They're very
Yeah,
strict.
it's just like a regular job. You know, you apply for a job, you do a background check. You know, but my point is that you can do commercial, residential, land
Yeah.
lot, manufacturing. This weekend, I'm gonna be up in the high desert, showing manufactured homes. So
Wow.
manufactured home, land, even wholesale. Like my last deal was a all cash offer. You know, and so there was like no contingencies, there was no loan, so they didn't require an appraiser or inspection, and it closed within 20 days. You know,
Um,
so
what address, bro, out there in the high desert? Like, what area? So maybe that's the thing about
Plug
realty.
it. You could plug whatever you want.
That's the thing about this
Wherever you want to
business
plug.
yeah,
and the music industry. You
I'm
have an
fine with it.
interview. Why I think interviews are so important. Podcasts, TV shows, these kind of things is we just take clips of it, and you could run commercials like that. That's where
right,
the similarities are too. So
yeah, exactly.
where's the gig at, or where's the open house, or what are you selling this weekend?
Well, that's another thing about being licensed by the state of California. I could work anywhere in California. So not necessarily just in
Mhm.
the Inland Empire, you know. But this weekend I'll be in Victorville, and then
Mhm.
we're shooting to Adelanto, and then I think we're gonna maybe work our way back either to Apple Valley and Hesperia. And I'll be it's not an open house. I'm gonna be showing property to a client, to a buyer.
Oh, so they're going to be visiting different spots up here.
Yeah, viewing
That's cool.
homes to see which one they want to make an offer on. And they're first time home buyers. So for me, like that's kind of like it's really the true reward. Because I get to help out this family get into their first home. You know, they're getting the foot in the door, first time home buyers. It's like their starter home. And then maybe 2, 3 years down the line, they're gonna remember me because I sold them their first house.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
when
it's
they're ready to
networking.
sell, now they're ready to
It's
sell
all
and buy a bigger
networking.
house. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that would be considered like a past client. So this is like a first client, and then in the future, 2, 3 years from now, when he decides to sell, it would be a past client. And then again, he'll sell that one and then buy a bigger one. You know, so I'll do two deals in one. I'm selling his house and I'm selling him another house. And that's how you kind of
Yeah,
just get the ball rolling.
you could help someone get out of their old house and into their new house.
Yeah, so that's two deals with
Yeah,
one
and then
client.
you work with the loan officers. You work with
Right,
the loan officers. You get to know them. It's all networking. I know how it works.
right, right. Yeah, we have loan officers in our office that all they do is loans. So like
Yeah,
any finance questions, you know,
that's
I
their
could always go
specialty.
to them.
Escrow people,
That's their
very
department.
important in California. See, some states don't have escrow. Isn't that
Yeah.
crazy?
Yeah, no, what they have instead is closing day or settlement day. So they call it settlement day because an attorney does it instead of an escrow officer. It's an
An
attorney.
attorney, yeah, you could.
Yeah, so it's called settlement day where they settle the
That's so
deal.
cool. So you
Yeah,
have to know the laws, and you also have to know construction and how houses are built. You have to know a lot of things. You have to know interior design,
yeah.
how the way houses are built. The
It's
more things you know, the better
right,
realtor you'll be. So
right.
I wish you all the
Especially
luck.
for taking the exam. Like the questions for the exam, they're a little bit of everything. So they're about some are about construction, some about
Mm-hmm.
financing a mortgage, some
Yep.
are about taxes,
The
um,
laws.
residential, yeah, real estate law,
A lot of it is
residential,
the law because
commercial,
there's a lot of legal stuff because
yeah,
you're allowing strangers into someone's home. You're basically,
Right.
you have that key, and that's a
Right.
privilege. So
Exactly.
you have that key or code or whatever to get into people's
Right.
houses.
Exactly. So
And while they're
even
going,
to
sometimes people are going through horrible divorces, and you're trying to, they want to sell the house as fast as possible, and but they're not getting along, but you're in their house. You're trying to
right.
help them get out of the situation they're in
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah. I've
It's
done a
also
listing. I've
like
done a divorce listing
people
before.
probably lean on you too in those situations.
Yeah, because I've done one divorce listing before, and there was a time, now that you bring it up, where they had the wife on this side and the husband on this side of the table, and I'm right in the middle, and I'm kind of mediating, like kind of trying to diffuse the situation in a
I
sense,
know.
before it
Yeah.
gets out of hand. They start raising their
Yeah.
voices and stuff like that. We kind of just okay,
You just want to
like
accomplish something in the
let's work
meeting.
work on the business, what I'm here for, the sign and negotiating. So yeah, it's a very emotional business.
I
Like
can see that.
for
Yeah.
my first time home buyers, it's like, we're finally getting into a home. Right now I have one in escrow in French Valley. It's kind of by Marietta and Winchester area. And that's gonna be their forever home.
Mm.
So that's where they're gonna raise their daughter. Their daughter's in, I think, third grade. Um, and they expect to live there at least until she graduates high school.
And you
So
got to
it's
deal with the banks and the loan types. There's so many different types of loans.
yeah, there's a lot of
So
moving
you
parts.
you know, it sounds like like a lot of the FHA loans. Because if
Yeah,
you're a first time
FHA,
buyer, you can
right?
qualify in California for an FHA loan, which is really good.
Yeah, majority of first time home buyers go FHA because they require only 3.5% down
Yep.
payment.
Yep.
Versus a conventional, they usually might go as low as maybe 5 if you have good credit, but
Yep.
sometimes 10, usually 20. Um,
Yep.
Majority of conventional loans is people who already have homes, like they're refinancing and or they're selling and they're using all their equity to buy another house. But majority of first time home buyers do use the FHA.
Yep.
But before getting to we're getting real businessy. I no, but I remember no, I remember
Yeah.
back in the day where I start realizing why you really want to do this. You had like you had a mission. You had there's a story back there where what drives you for to get these people in the homes and then eventually yourself.
Right. Um. Well, I grew up poor, so we moved a lot when I was a kid. So for me, like just having the instability of not living in a certain area for a long period of time. I think that was what like it triggers something in me where like when I get into a home, I'm gonna stay there. Like I finally have my own home where I can grow roots, and build equity, which is basically generational wealth, right? Um, and that's how people end up owning the whole block. They start small, get into a small property, let it appreciate one time, pay it down as you go, use the equity to buy a bigger property, or you could rent it out and have cash flow every month, or you can yeah, like refinance it, use that equity to buy a bigger home and then keep that one as a rental. Now you have an investment property and you own a home, and then repeat. Buy, repair, refinance. The Burr method. I don't know if you might have heard of it, maybe on TikTok. BRR, where you buy, you repair, you refinance, repeat. So for me, maybe just I think because I grew up poor and moving a lot is what made me like commit to this business. Like I'm gonna help people get into a home, sell their home, whatever the situation, whether it's a divorce, whether they're retiring. I've done a retire listing before where they wanted to sell because they're retiring. Um, or even if it's just an investment property that they want to get into or sell. And in the process, I learned the ropes, right? I learned the business. I learned the in and outs, the lingo, right? Because a lot of like real estate, like music, has its own language as well. The terminology and all that. And then in the process, maybe hopefully, make some money where that I can get into a home. So that's like my goal, especially now that I'm doing it full time. My number one goal is to get into a home for me and my kids too.
Right on, man. Big time. Like, I appreciate it. Yeah, the story, man, is like, you're not one of those. You're not just chasing the bag only. You have their best interests in mind.
Right.
Everyone knows you. You're a genuine dude. Like I said, I see your following and everything going on. It's growing. It's organic, and it's because you are a solid brother, man. You're not about the bull, and they trust you. People could trust you out there with their dollar and their future, bro.
Yeah. Like for me, I don't really I try not to think too much of the commission check. More like just getting the deal in and getting it closed. I know I'm gonna get something, you know. So the amount doesn't necessarily. I wouldn't say it doesn't matter completely because it does in a sense. But if you do deals consistently, then you'll make money. My last deal I made 3,200. The deal before that I made 4,000. This one that's gonna close next month, I'll probably, and after taxes and all that, I'll probably get like 11,000. You know, and then with this one, the one that I'll be showing in the high desert, I might get 5,000. You know, so the amount is gonna vary, but for me, it's really just about getting the deals closed. If this person is motivated and I see that, that they want to get in, and they're calling me, I'm not bugging them about, hey, did you still want to buy a house? They're calling me like, hey, I sent you my documents. How soon can you have an answer for me? Okay, so that tells me this person's motivated. So if I'm able to help them out, and like how I said before, that the true reward is affecting people's lives like in a positive way, you know.
What do
And
you prefer? Do you prefer text message, email, or phone call?
I would say phone call direct.
We're
I'm
keeping it real, Ralphie. This is real
Yeah.
questions.
I'm pretty good at answering, but if you send me a text, I'm also good at replying.
Text.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, texting.
Text is good sometimes because you don't want to bother somebody too much, Like we don't want to bother you
Right.
if you're eating dinner, but
Well, the thing
you
about
probably
this
have
this
people
business
bothering you
too.
day and night if you're
Yeah,
booking gigs and booking showings at Realty. You're all over the place. I'm
yeah.
lucky you had time to come on my show.
Yeah,
You're
you
so busy.
definitely have to be this in this business. Like I'm on call. It's like I'm on call 24/7.
Uh-huh.
And I just got an idea this morning that on my phone message, when you call and if I don't answer, you leave a voice. I can leave a voicemail. I was even practicing like, hey, sorry I missed your call. This is Jesse with Empire Properties. My business hours are from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Yes.
That way they know not to call after 9 p.m.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So you could
Or even
sleep.
8 a.m. to 8 p.m. or something like that.
Yes.
So it's still within like the business hours, 9 to 5. But I can say like even 7 a.m. I'm usually up like by 7ish or whatever. Like I can say my business hours are from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. or something like that.
Play it. Can you play us another song? Do you have your flute?
Yes, absolutely.
You do?
Okay.
Really? We're getting
We
So
double shot. It's like a double shot of love over here. Double shot of music over here.
we had to we had to Google if it's flutist or flautist.
flutist. Flutist.
It's
Flutist. We
flutist.
agreed.
I told you, Ralph. It's flutist.
I know, but
Flutist.
in the chat, if let's have a debate. Is it flutist or
I know,
flautist?
right?
I love that. Yeah, what do you guys think in the chat? Is it flutist or flautist? I already know because I had to look it up. I looked it up already.
But let us know the style of flute you have, because it's
Yeah.
not just
Yeah,
one
that's not
size
your
fits all.
regular. That's not a metal flute like you're in the band.
Right. So there's different types of flutes, right? There's the
Yeah.
one you kind of play like this. There's
Yeah.
the pan flute where you kind of play like, you know. There's brass. When you said metal, there some are brass. There's some that are made out of clay. I have some of those as well, but I mostly play it's the Native American flute, which is wood. What flute? This particular wood is oak. So
That is beautiful.
This is oak, kind of dark wood.
Is that handmade?
Yes. These are
Wow.
handmade by a company in Arizona. The company is called High Spirits. They're in Flagstaff, Arizona. And this
Feather.
so this right here is called a fetish, and each flute has like a different animal. This particular one has the condor. So
Shut the front door. You're killing me.
yeah, it even has
That
like a
feather.
You can't find this on Amazon, right?
Look at that. Oh my God.
No, but you can. This one I got online from their website, from the High Spirits
What
website.
kind of feather is that? It looks like a duck feather. Or is
It's
it
actually
a hawk?
it's actually bald eagle.
An eagle feather? No way.
Yeah, it's actually bald eagle. This was gifted to me.
Wow.
And then here's some more designs right here.
You got to hang around under an eagle's nest to get an eagle feather legally.
Oh yeah.
Unless you know people at the animal rescue places, then where they
also
rehabilitate eagles.
Like legally, you have to be part of the Native American church, and you have to have like a card. So this was gifted to me by someone who's part of the Native American church.
Wow.
It even says right here like what key it's in.
Ralphie, take a screenshot of that, please. Everybody at home, take a screenshot of this. This is so amazing.
It's in D minor. So I like that, some are tuned to different keys. I have another one that's in A minor, another one in G minor. This one's in D minor. So I like that because you can play with other people. Like if I had a bass player, for example, Ralph, or a guitar player, we can play together as long as we're in the same key. Can
I play with you guys sometime when you invite me to play them?
Yeah, absolutely.
I could play the egg.
We got to go down to San Diego for sure.
The egg shaker. Yeah. I might be in San Diego in a couple of weeks, maybe.
Really? I got to introduce you to my friends. I got a bunch of friends that in San Diego that play Latin jazz. They
nice
players. I know some of them. Well, I know the original OG members and Dago Dulce. There's a few bands. My friend Israel. Ralphie, haven't you met Israel?
I might have.
My friend Izzy. He's
cool.
He's very multi-talented. He can grab any instrument. He also teaches music. He's amazing. Oh my gosh, he does Spanish, flamenco, classical guitar. He does all that.
Nice.
He's amazing. He also DJs. He does a lot of live big events, like very big events, weddings, corporate events. He does all that. He's very good. And like you, he's busy booking. It takes a lot of time booking all those events. So he's doing that. So, and also teaching the kids at school music. So, and he's a friend of mine. And so, yeah, I would like you to meet him. Actually, I would hope.
I'm super down.
Yeah,
I like the B-side players. They're
you know them? You know who they are?
No, but I know who they are. I like their music.
Wow.
And there's a lot of talent in San Diego.
There is. There really is. It's unlimited here.
A lot of reggae, ska, even hip hop. Like
BZ Beats is out there. BZ Beats is out there.
Yeah, one of our mutual friends.
Have you been down here, and have you ever gone to Winston's and Ocean Beach?
No, but I'd like to.
Yeah, man,
I'll make a note of that. Or put it in the chat so I can see like the spelling and all that.
There's Wise Monkey Orchestra.
Oh wow. Cool name.
I don't know if you ever heard of them. B-side players, Agua Dulce. There's so many.
Yeah, there's a lot of good bands and
So
even
many
just
amazing
artists.
bands that play around here too. It's
There's
incredible.
a definite scene out there.
Definitely, yeah,
The
like a whole art
vibe,
scene.
whole scene.
Even like, isn't there like a downtown district, like a what
The
is it,
gas
lamp
lamp.
district? Yeah, gas
Gas
Oh,
lamp
gas lamp.
brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they have like jazz bands and stuff like that.
Yes. There's the
Yeah, I
U.S.
definitely want to
Grant.
check it out.
The U.S. Grant Hotel in Horton Plaza. U.S. Grant Hotel. There's Jaime Valle. Have you ever heard of him?
I want to say it sounds familiar, but I don't think so.
He used to play at the U.S. Grant.
Nice.
Lot of amazing. Robin Henkel. He's a blues
Oh
and
yeah,
jazz
yeah.
guy.
Oh, dope.
Ralphie, you met Robin, right?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the brother I want to see out there. It'll be cool.
He's amazing.
The song that you're gonna play, is it from one of your albums?
Yeah. It's from my last album. It's actually a song that I recorded on my project from a book with all flute music. The book is called Native Songs for Flute. And
Okay.
this song is called Deer Hunting Song.
Okay, I'll stop talking, Ralphie. I'll be quiet so he can play.
On the album it's called Deer Woman, but in the book it was Deer Hunting Song. Yeah. And then also since the song is named after like an animal, I like to try to keep the animal in mind. So in this case it's a deer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's like with intention.
Deer.
Right.
The deer spirit.
Yeah. So
Deer soul.
So the song is Deer Hunting Song. So it's like you're hunting. You know, you're kind of like,
you're killing me.
You're creeping up. You're in the cut. You're hiding.
Killing me, Smalls. I can't wait. Okay.
Thank you. Bravo. Got him.
Got him. Yeah, I love that song.
Ralphie, did you notice that his guitar and his flute could have been a lot louder in the stream?
Yeah, I think one time I was yelling the first song. I was like trying to check it. That's something we need to chalk up to experience to do maybe a volume check for the instrument. How hard we should play. But yeah,
Sound
It
check.
feels like he has sound cancellation on, or like
Oh,
something like that's trying to cancel out his background music.
okay, yeah, that
He
could be
might
a
have a
thing.
sound cancellation thing. I don't know.
But
That was amazing, though. I loved it. I wish I wanted it. I wanted the flute to be louder. I was like, turn it up, make it be
Maybe if I
louder.
put it closer.
yeah, that might be a thing
Yeah,
too, because your voice is projecting. But I remember playing those gigs with that one, and it's usually it could just be like even a hand drum. Dun,
Right.
dun, da, da, bum, bum. And that's what I love about some of these circles or that we've been playing in. Like people will
yeah.
people get to join, and a Sandy D
Right.
could be on the shaker.
I want to be on the shaker. Put me on the shaker, please.
Yeah.
On your egg.
On your,
Give me this. Can I be the egg? I'll be the
I want to
egg.
be on the huevo. I want to be on the huevo too.
The egg warmer.
The
egg eater.
warmer. They used to call me that. They used to call me that in junior high, man. How'd you know?
Really? They did shut up. No, they didn't.
Why? Is it because you had chicken legs?
Dude, I do have chicken legs, bro.
Chicken legs.
Bro, I don't know how I'm standing up right now. If you ever watch Monsters Inc., I have that Mike body, that little one eyeball. That's my body shape. I'm Mike from Monsters
Stop
Inc.
it. Stop it.
They ask me my body type. I say Mike from Monsters Inc.
No.
But yeah, man,
Stop.
it's always good times with you, bro. Like everywhere we go, if people see us, people look at us on the internet. Even if they Google Nervous Anomaly, I used to be Ralph Nervous. I used to have different names too. And yeah, for a long time, man, we've been side by side, and I appreciate you, man. And I'm rooting for you, man. And I've been to some of those first showings. I'm signing my name. I took some cookies. I got some water, man. I showed up, and I didn't
the
know
open house.
yeah, I didn't know the process, and not to get too political in all this. I know, like, I don't know the audience, but I know that we both went to the protests different times. We didn't know out here in Fontana, down here in downtown Fontana.
You were protesting? You were in the streets? Were you in the streets, Ralphie?
I was in the streets, and not to make money how I usually do.
Ralphie in the streets.
After dark, but no, not in that way. My girlfriend, like, she's about that, and I didn't understand, but I went there just to lend a hand or to drive or to I'm not too political or cultural. Like, I'm learning. Like I said, even doing the doing the gigs with Jesse, going out here, I'm learning about feathers and I'm learning about this, and it's just
I love that.
I went out
that's
there and
cultural. The stuff that Jesse, the stuff that you have is cultural. There's history. There's books. There's movies based on that stuff. So
Right.
it does. I hope it touches the audience as much as it touches me. Is like, that's some spiritual stuff. That's really Native American stuff, and it's like sacred. And I don't even know if we should be talking about it. It's sacred stuff,
But it is. We're just spreading awareness because you don't.
It's like Fight Club stuff. We don't talk about Fight Club.
Deer Hunter, and these that songs, no words, but we could attach our own emotion to it, whatever that means, wherever it draws us. And going back to where we were this weekend, like I said, we're coming from different I don't say different places, but different perspectives, I guess, or different experiences with the protests that are going on. I went out there to be supportive of someone I care about, and I end up learning about unity. I end up learning about this collective thing, and generally everyone has the best intentions, and that was awesome to me because I'm on the outside. I'll say straight up, since I'm going to be a regular guest or co-host, like, I'm not
You're my co-host, Ralphie. Right?
Yeah, I'm not really a color person or these kind of things or political. I don't have sides. I'm just I go with what feels intuitively right, or Holy Spirit. I'm learning a lot of new things, so I'm about learning right now. So I went but I saw you on the internet going later on that day because it was like an 8 hour or 10 hour event. What is your motive or to agree? Why did you go to support? What was your view or your angle?
Well, going back to the music, music is medicine. Music is healing. Music is magic. You know, even playing guitar, playing piano, flute, especially for me. Like I feel really connected to it. Um, Even like if you're in a bad mood, you're angry, you're sad, whatever it may be, you pick up an instrument, you play, you play your heart into it, and it's like it helps with mood, right? Um, playing sets off chemicals in your brain, and it makes you feel better. And then of course, during the ceremonies, they sing prayer songs, and then all over the internet you see what are they called, sound baths, right, where they're playing flute and they got the rain sticks going and the crystal bowls. If you never experienced that, like you should go if you haven't yet.
Are you
Like,
talking about a drum circle?
drum circle too. No, that was like a separate thing, like a sound bath, meaning like you're kind of lying down and they're doing the healing bowls, the crystal bowls around you, and they're playing flute. A drum.
Oh, the bowls that like they're like these big bowls that you bang
Yeah,
like a wooden thing on. Like
yeah.
I have a steel drum right here. Don't
Oh,
even get me
steel drums are
started,
cool.
Jesse. Don't even
No,
get me started, Jesse.
I like the steel drums. They're from the Caribbean.
A sound
Um,
bath. Yeah, they're
but the
Caribbean.
steel drum would be cool for the drum circle. A drum circle is more like you're at the beach and
Yeah.
everyone's playing at the same time.
See,
Um,
people I've heard about drum circles. I know they have in San Diego, they have the World Beat Center, and they do a lot of drum circles there. And everyone's welcome and everyone's invited, and it's an
yeah, that's cool.
amazing,
I like to go
beautiful
and
place.
play flute at the drum circles.
Yeah,
It's
Yes.
like the
or have a
only melodic
shaker,
instrument. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I
or
love
just a
that.
shaker,
Um,
or a egg. But going back to like the music and and how you relate to what was going on this weekend.
yeah. Um, so I growing up, I listened to diverse genres of music. I grew up in a Mexican family. My parents are from Mexico. They came, they got their citizenship. My dad started a business. He was a mechanic. He had a transmission business for 20 years in San Bernardino,
Shout out.
and then for like another 10, 15 years in Colton, right down the street from where Ralphie used to live. Um, so I grew up with my family very blue collar. Um, and they came from Mexico. And then like the more you
What
deep.
part? ¿Qué parte?
My dad's from Juarez, Chihuahua, and my mom is from Mexicali, Sonora.
Bueno.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's actually Baja.
Baja.
So both those towns, they're right on the border of the United States and Mexico. Um, so as you go deeper into the rabbit hole of your background and your culture, I discovered that on my mom's side, I'm part Yaqui, and on my dad's side, I'm part Tarahumara, which is just like the local tribes in that area.
Wow.
And I just feel like I had to go and represent, because you've seen the footage of people getting tackled and arrested and deported with no due process and all that. It's supposed to be
Yeah,
innocent.
that's not what's happening.
It,
It's
it's
not everything that the way they're painting it. It's not.
Yeah, it's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, but yet people are getting snatched up, like kind of scary, like how the way they're doing it, and it's more
Yeah.
like you're now guilty until proven innocent.
You
Which
can't live in Southern California without being friends with Mexicans.
Yeah, because again,
Everyone,
this
everyone is
whole
meant to
area,
come here. So everyone,
California,
yeah,
Texas, Colorado,
you
Arizona, New
can't live
Mexico, it all used
here.
to be
You better
Mexico.
better get to know them because you can't live here without knowing them.
Yeah.
It's part of life here.
Again, like going, if you know your history, the Treaty of Hidalgo stated that, and like any Mexicans that that lived in the United States now became citizens, now are U.S. citizens, but they never, of course, they never upheld the treaty, so this is just kind of like repeating history, history repeating itself all over again because it's happened before,
Yeah,
you know. So for me, in my this is just my opinion. I am not an immigrant, especially being born in East LA. I was raised in East LA, raised kind of in the Inland Empire.
you're a
Again,
U.S.
I
citizen.
moved, yeah, I moved a lot. I
You're
lived in
protected by the
Anomaly.
U.S. government.
Yeah, so and then also like considering where my parents are from, it's so close to the U.S. border. But back when those tribes were like prevalent, um, there was no border there, But now that there is, it's kind of like,
It's been there a
uh,
long time, though.
Yeah,
yeah, it's been there
Been there a
definitely,
long time.
definitely. So I just feel like I had to go represent, um, my culture, my people, and I took my California flag. I have a Mexican flag, but I figured
Ah,
there's going to be plenty of Mexican flags there.
ah,
I don't
yeah,
own an American flag, but I should get one. But I took my California flag with the grizzly bear and the California Republic and the red star on the top. Um, because I was born in California, East LA. I love California. You know, licensed in California as a real estate agent. I
I
can work
love that.
anywhere in
See,
California. So from
this is
where
the
I live,
place you can make dreams come true. It's like
yeah,
everything.
exactly. This
If you
is the
work
Golden
hard,
State.
if you're willing to work hard and go through the process is ain't easy. It ain't easy for
Yeah,
anyone. It
and
never
I've
was.
been
It was
to.
never easy. I hear stories from my in-laws family. I hear stories from my family on both sides and my mother's side, my father's side. I hear stories what they went through. Nothing was easy.
Right,
Nothing easy for anybody.
right. And so,
but
like California, like in regards to like the regions or whatever you want to call them, like for
Yeah.
example, California is the only state that has everything. It has mountains, it has beaches, it has valleys, it has deserts, it has forests. You know,
Yep.
and you can't really get that in a lot of states. Like where I live, I'm in the Inland Empire. I'm an hour away from the mountains if it snows. I'm an hour away from the beach. I'm uh, just 15 minutes away from a creek. An hour away um, from Joshua Tree, the desert.
2 hours to San Diego.
2 hours to San Diego. Like
What's your
it,
closest beach?
I think our closest beach is probably I want to say Newport
Yeah.
or even
Oh, beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah,
or
they got some
even
world-class surf spots over there too. Newport Beach.
yeah,
Yeah.
Balboa, Venice. Venice ain't that
That's
far.
cool.
Venice. I love Venice Beach. Muscle Beach.
Venice. I got
But
friends up there.
Monica.
I got
Yeah,
friends up in
I've even
LA.
I've driven down the Pacific Coast Highway from Santa Cruz, like all the way down to here, and it's like just beautiful. You know, you got mountains and the forest on this side and the beach on
I
this
know.
side.
I
And if
did
you
the
never,
drive and I went on a surf trip up and down the California coast. Oh my gosh.
yeah,
The further north you go, like the more beautiful it gets. It's like, oh
right,
my gosh, the world's hidden gem. It's like
yeah, exactly.
like Fight Club. I probably shouldn't even be saying it because everyone's gonna want to go live there because it's gorgeous up there. Oh my
yeah,
gosh,
yeah,
it's
speak
California.
hidden
while
gem.
while we're speaking of California and America, like random, I watched a clip of Arnold on a talk show. Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he was just like how he was came from another country,
I was an
21 years
immigrant.
old. He loves it. He became governor.
Yeah.
He became shout out to Rory. Governor. Shout out to Rory. But
We love you, Rory.
but yeah, the voices.
Hope you
But
watching Rory in the replay.
wow. But yeah, like it's and to be realistic, I know we had a conversation because I've been reinventing myself or learning since 2019, like really trying to figure out why I'm here, my purpose, and all these things. And part of it is like I didn't know the difference between um, these protests because I met the brown berets and I'm learning about culture or the brown skin culture and America and I know the stories, I know the history, and I'm not mad about it. It is what it is, and can't do nothing about that. And I didn't know to tie it in. I didn't know how we could be native culture, things were taken or things were, and to sell property. Remember we had that conversation, bro? I was like, how do you do the America thing mixed in with the I didn't understand. Do you Can you clear it up? Can you clear it up for people like
Yeah. Um. Well, again, growing up in my background and growing up, poor and moving a lot was how like why I wanted to get into this business so that I can, buy a home for myself and my kids. But yeah, again, in the process, like a lot of um, a lot of people you hear the phrase land back all the time, um, but the way I see it,
I never heard that.
you never heard that?
What is
Yeah,
it called? No, I never heard that.
land back,
No.
basically like. Oh, or you've heard you've probably seen the phrase like no one is illegal on stolen land. Have you heard that one?
No.
You see it all the time, like in protests, like
yeah, I saw some
Really?
signs down there.
yeah, like no one is
Okay.
illegal on stolen land. That
Okay.
yeah, that the land was stolen from
Okay.
the natives, right? So like for me, like as an example, just I'm gonna use this as an example. The family that I'm gonna go show property to, they're
Yeah.
also native. I met him at the
Wow.
sweat ceremony. So
Wow.
by him purchasing a property and having a home, um,
Yes.
now he's gonna have the sweat lodge. He's gonna have the teepee. He's
We're
gonna have
getting the
even
Native Americans back into their
right.
own land legally.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're gonna have to
Oh my God, I love this.
buy back what is rightfully ours. Because they're not just
Love
gonna
it.
give it
No,
back
you
to
just got to go through the process.
yeah. Work on your credit, build up a savings.
Yep.
Um, like
This is educational. Everybody should be taking notes. This is a life educational lesson for you and your families at home that want to get
right,
ahead in life, tired of paying rent, tired of
exactly,
working hard and never owning anything, don't have any
right,
assets. So
exactly,
he
and
knows the magic and the secrets of how you can get your first. He'll help you with your FHA loan, get you into your first home. He's got
yeah.
all the he's going to support you in all the
Yep.
Even
ways.
if you have to start small,
Yeah,
start with.
that's
I mean,
amazing.
everyone's gonna have their own needs, right? Some people need only two
Yeah,
bedrooms. Some people might need five bedrooms. So it really
yeah.
just depends. But like how I always say, the best time to get into a home is when you can afford it. It's when it's within your budget. So if it isn't within your budget, then yeah, I say pull the trigger. You know, because when you're renting, really what you're doing is you're paying for the month to have a roof over your head, and in reality, you're paying someone else's mortgage for them. You know, and then there's no guarantees like if you're renting, they can just come and knock on your door like, "Hey, we're selling the house. You got to
Oh
move out."
yeah, no.
You know?
I've rented and I
Yeah,
rented here and
it happens all the
I've
time. It's
rented
happened to
here
me.
in Southern California for like 20 years before I bought my own house.
Good.
I wasted my money. I wasted my hard-earned money 20
Right.
years before I bought my first house.
Yeah,
So
calculate
I
it.
speak your language. Like
Whatever it is you're paying monthly
yeah,
times
FHA
12.
loan.
Yeah, times 12. That's what you're paying yearly.
And I know
Hmm.
that times are changing. I know that um mo- multiple people are moving in, multiple families are moving into homes. I know that's going to be trending. We see that going on in the world today. Um, one thing is, and I encourage you to, we start designing the content that it's okay, and I'm a fan of a tribe. And then rather there's all these people wanting to be individuals and all these payments to move in together. Is that are you noticing that starting to happen as you're selling
Yeah,
homes?
yeah, like more multi-family homes. People come,
Oh
putting
yeah.
putting their money together and purchasing property. Or another
How
way to
many
do it.
people can you have on a loan in California?
Honestly, I don't think there's a limit. It's really just about if you can afford it or not.
What
Um,
about before you have to like call it like a LLC or something like a entrepreneurship, like
yeah,
a
well, that's what
group joint
that's what
venture?
some
I
people
don't know.
do is they create a trust. It could be
A
2 to 3
trust.
people, or it could be 10 people. And they all put their money together
See,
and buy the property under the trust name or an LLC or an S corp or whatever.
us
And
three right here could make a
yeah,
trust. We can make
exactly.
a. You
I
Yeah,
want a
exactly.
building. I want a building. We could do a bunch of
want a
different.
building?
Yeah, restaurant with a little music area and another floor. Multi floor or some kind of big building factory or something like that. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want
no,
a
definitely.
karaoke place. I want a place
yeah.
where everyone can come and karaoke and play and like a what do you call it? Like I want like an open mic night place. I want an open
Yeah,
mic night.
yeah, that would be cool. Even
Yeah.
even just leasing a space for that. People do that, or you could buy the
Yeah,
whole property, the commercial property.
Even better. Even better. Um,
Yeah. But no,
any
I definitely
shows?
I appreciate that, Ralph, what you said about the tribe, because it really does take a village. You probably heard that phrase before, where it takes a village to raise a kid. It takes a village to buy a house. Um, husband and wife. Putting their money together, working together, building together.
I love that. And as a community, as a family,
Yeah.
that's
Right.
how our concept on Cosmos has always been like we get together and we support each other as a family, and that's
That's
always
what it's all
but
about.
been what works. It just works, you know.
Right. Right.
And then,
Supporting each
like you said,
other. It doesn't take a lot of effort just to be supportive to your friends, and we
Hmm.
have so many talented friends in this industry, so it's like
Right.
unlimited.
and to kind of like tie into that same thing, I watched a story about, I forget what it was. I don't think it was Winchell's, but it was some type of donut shop, and I don't know if they're Vietnamese, or it was some immigrant, someone who came over here, a refugee or something, and they bought a donut store, and then they had like so many people coming over and under supporting each other, buying this next donut store and this donut store. It's kind of like no pride. It's everyone just linking up and supporting, and I really think that's necessary. And this time is to go in on the project. Maybe it's under one person's name or this and that, and we just keep helping people more and more and more. Like you said, to buy a block, to buy the whole block. To have all the business, all the businesses to be self-sustained. I think it is, for me, to talk realistically, to have your own well, to have your own water, to have your own food. I think this is the way that we got to go, and to
Right.
go in with each other and to buy bigger properties. Oh man,
Yeah.
it seems like the way to go. And like I said, more role models. As long as you're vibing with those people, we're on the same wavelength. Multiple moms or aunts or tias, everyone's aunts, tias, cousins. We're just all related and we're working towards the cause. I think
Right.
this is the future. I really believe that.
Yeah, definitely.
Call on your aunties, y'all.
Yeah. I mean,
Call on
okay,
your
so just
aunties.
imagine like you get a group of friends together, let's say maybe 4 people. You start open up a trust and you buy a fourplex. Now you guys have
Ooh,
each a place, like that. And then of course everyone helps pay the mortgage and all that. If there's land, you can have a garden, right? Grow your own food. Um, I
Like
would
it.
put.
HOA fees, HOA meetings, all of that.
It's coming. Also, to this, we can mix in with realty and music. What if the band buys the fourplex? Do you know what I'm
Ooh,
saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Or a
two
team, or
owned by a band? You want to live in a unit that's owned by a band? Hell yeah, I do.
I know, yeah. Have,
Yeah.
like I said, if it's a big building, and depending, you're coming up here to Adelanto, man, and that's where I stay.
Yeah.
And there's and a lot of these places up here, a lot of these lots are business park where you could have a small little restaurant, could have these things, but on that property, it could be the recording studio, it could be the
Right.
carry, it could be the patio that is the karaoke, with the taco
Right.
cart up there. I don't know.
Right.
It's like that's what
Yeah.
I
Get
like.
creative.
Yeah, however you like, but I think that is the future, is to team up. Let's let go of this individual. That's a big thing. What I'm learning right now is like, in this culture, we want to be so much individual, we forget, like, we could just help. And then with the Instagram and faking the funk, and then pretending, trying to match
Mhm.
everyone's status. It's kind of like, if we could just break that down. I think that's this culture coming up. We're gonna break that ego down, and we're gonna all pitch in and have a good
And
time, man.
Ralphie, like I feel like also like a lot of the U.S. citizens, they think everything's like black and white. Like not always everything is black and white. There's always a gray area, you know. So maybe we could come together and meet in a gray area. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
In the
I
middle.
like that. I
Why
like
does
that.
everything have to be black and white? Like let's compromise. Let's come together. I think the importance is here is that we come together. We don't have a divide. There's no such thing as a
Right.
divide. We come together with love and an open heart, open mind, and we meet in the middle. It doesn't have to be black and white.
Right.
Yeah, Dan, you're preaching over there in San Diego.
I'm just saying. I'm not trying to preach. I'm not trying to sound like a preacher at all. That's not what I want. I don't want that. I just feel like I feel frustrated that our whole country, our own country, is being divided, and it's like, what do you think other countries look at us like? They're like, you guys can't even get along with yourselves. So,
Can't even
so,
get it together.
so, yeah, they're like, you guys don't even like each other. So
Yeah, that's
why
what's
should
going
we
on.
trust you? Like, what the hell?
And definitely,
I'm
that's
like,
what's going on in the media, the fear and all these things. And that's why I do not watch it. I kind of refuse to. I kind of hear it secondhand, which ain't good. But the divide and conquer, and I'm hearing what we have to do now
secondhand.
is adapt and overcome. That's going to be the thing. They want to hit us with divide and conquer, or we have to adapt and overcome. and,
What
and,
does
and
chat think? We want to hear from the chat. What does chat think in the comments? Please
Mhm.
like, share, follow if you like the show. We got to end it, Ralphie. We went
okay,
overtime.
okay,
Um,
okay.
Over.
I loved. I want to have you back again.
Definitely.
But how about this?
Jesse.
How about, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm going on vacation and going all these places. Maybe I can't chime in if
No, you're
Jesse's
not. No,
Jesse's
you're
been.
not. You're gonna be here every Thursday.
I
You're
know,
not going anywhere.
They
but
got internet in Mexico.
yeah, I can. Maybe I can. I could chime in, but Jesse's a good co-host too. I'm just throwing it out there. While I'm gonna
Ah,
be gone. But yes, I won't be gone too long. But what's shout out
uh,
to how can we find you? How can the guests or everyone chimed
yeah.
in
Let
find
everyone
your
know where they
stuff?
can follow you and support you.
Um, you can call me directly. 909-495-5397 is my direct cell. Again, write it down. 909-495-5397.
I'm afraid to put that because I don't want to invite the spammers. So I'm afraid to put that.
I can
But
handle them. But
Spam is good.
yeah. And then if you want to hit me up on Instagram, it's just at Anomaly Productive, all with the correct spelling. And then that's for my music. And then for my business, it's just Jesse Realty Ramirez. And then of course I have my YouTube channel that has like a lot of content that's not on IG. Um so there's YouTube, of course, email. My email is also the same, anomalyproductive@gmail.com. So if you want to email me, um, direct call, text is probably the best way to get a hold of me. But even if you want to like book me for a gig, you can call, text, Instagram, direct message, or email. All of the above. We live in the information age where you can communicate all kinds of ways. I don't have a website yet. That's still in the works. But I say the best way to get a hold of me is call, text, direct message, email.
All right, all right. I think I heard that little thing. Yeah, bust the level one. Let's do it.
Hey.
I can't wait, man. Appreciate you, Sandy, and Cosmos Creative TV, and everything that you guys do, giving people a platform. I can't wait to the upcoming weeks where we get to spread the love and give people shine. And I appreciate you, Jesse, man, for being a solid guy.
Jesse, you got to come back on my show, please. Tell me you're going to come back on my show again. I know the more you come on my show, I know the more people are going to love you. And hello to the replay people.
Yes.
And
I appreciate you guys having me, inviting me. Had a lot of fun. I'm definitely be back. Just let me know ahead of time so I can put it in my calendar, put it in my schedule.
Yes, I know you're busy. You're so busy.
Yeah, definitely. Just let me know.
And everybody, if you have an FHA question in the Inland Empire, anywhere in California, you want to buy a home, first-time homeowner, he'll help you get an FHA loan. He'll teach you how to put you in connection with the right people in California to get an FHA loan, get your first home, get you in there.
Buy, sell, invest, refinance, all the above. Residential, commercial, income property, even commercial lease, all the above.
Yep. And Ralphie?
Yes, ma'am.
Next week, we have Ty Stonehawker.
Can't wait. I can't wait to.
Ralphie, you're going to die. You're going to die when you see him next week.
No, I don't want. I'm not ready.
And you're going to love him. You're going to love him. You guys are going to love him. Okay. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
What a great show we had tonight. Yeah. I love you guys.
Peace.
Good night.
Thank you, guys.
Getting salty with Sandy here at the beach. Stand on my feet. There's no place that I would rather be than getting salty with Sandy D.
Did you know that thousands of Californians have retired in luxury on the beach in San Felipe, Baja California? Did you know that the future of green technology is happening now on the beach in Baja California? That you can own a beautiful sea view home for a fraction of what it would cost in the U.S.? Did you know that the cost of living is 1/4 the cost of what it is here? Discover Rancho Costa Verde, an amazing cutting-edge green community on the beach at prices you haven't seen in your lifetime. Not a lease, not a timeshare, full ownership home sites with 180-degree sea views starting at only $22,500, with terms and financing that make it affordable for almost anyone. To receive additional information and learn how you can visit the property, call 1-800-211-7400. 1-800-211-7400.